let's get into what we didn't see on Monday Night Raw. Now, we know that there was a match with AJ Styles and El Grande Americano. But before that match, while Raw was in commercial break, AJ Styles was in the ring and addressed the crowd in Wisconsin. You know, a few things just to recap. You know, he talked about that. First of all, he blamed himself for the situation that he's in. Then he said that no one has his back and that there's a certain someone that's making sure that there's nobody watching his back. And then he mentioned to the crowd that, hey, we're in commercial break, so I'm probably saying something that you're not supposed to hear. And then he went on to say that there is someone that doesn't want him there. And he said, come up with your own conclusions. So, Bully, I'll ask you first. Who could he be talking about?
I don't know, but I'm shocked that AJ Styles went into business for himself and started shooting on the microphone.
Well,
that normally never happens, and he did it last night because that was a straight-up shoot, brother.
Well, he did mention Gallows and Anderson, who are no longer in the WWE. I think this is another case, Bully, of the WWE using their social media activity as a way of, you know, getting people talking and to further a storyline. And obviously there's a storyline here with AJ Styles. Knowing that, like, who could he be talking about? Like, because storyline-wise, who could make sense that AJ would be talking about? Who's the force that's making sure that there's nobody watching his back, and who could possibly not want AJ there?
I honestly don't know, other than Dom. Right?
Yeah, but Dom wouldn't have the power to be able to do that. Let me throw out.
Do you think this is outside of the box? Do you think this has something to do with TNA?
I think ultimately, I think it does have something to do with. I think somehow, some way, this story is going to intertwine with TNA, and that makes me very hopeful too.
So before you tell me who you think he's addressing, I have to tell you there was an aspect of what AJ said that I did not like. AJ insinuated that he can't win around here because he's got nobody protecting him, nobody's got his back. AJ's an uber babyface, white meat babyface. You don't need anybody. You win on your own. That was the only part that really stuck out to me, and I didn't even put it under a microscope. When I heard him say it again, I'm like, damn, you shouldn't need anybody. If you keep getting jumped and beat down, then you need people to have your back. But when it comes to wins and losses, you shouldn't need anybody. You should be able to win on your own. That's it.
You know, I get it. And listen, and as you're talking, maybe it has something to do with TNA. Maybe because of, like, with Dom, maybe it has something to do with AAA. You know, maybe it has something to do with some of the companies the WWE is working with. So TNA is a good one because, as we know, AJ Styles, we saw him in a TNA at Slammiversary. And then, you know, we know what Dom has been able to do with AAA and what the relationship is with AAA and the WWE. But as far as, like, who's making this happen, I mean, the only people that could be making this happen would be a Triple H, or maybe it's a Adam Pearce, who's the general manager of Monday Night Raw. So, I mean, maybe there's a story here with Triple H. Maybe there's a story here with Adam Pearce. I'm just throwing it at the wall because it's got to be somebody with power. It's got to be somebody that can make these things happen. Because basically you're saying, you know, Mia Yim was sent to SmackDown, so she can't watch his back. Gallows and Anderson were let go from the company so they could no longer watch AJ Styles back. So it's got to be somebody that has the power to make these things happen.
Well, who with power has had it in for AJ Styles?
That's the big question, because I honestly don't know.
I honestly have no clue. You have no clue.
And you mentioned Dom Mysterio. Like, if it is something with AAA, we know every time we see Worlds Collide, there we see Triple H. But why would Triple H want to get rid of AJ Styles? The reason I bring up TNA is maybe, and a lot of people have been speculating and maybe hoping that there's going to be some kind of TNA invasion or WWE, and we're kind of seeing that play out with the WWE capturing TNA titles. Is that something that interests you if there is some kind of like war between the WWE and TNA?
I don't think when you say the WWE, are you talking the main roster or NXT?
Well, I have to include the main roster because that's where AJ Styles is.
Okay. Invasions have been done to death. There is a way to do an invasion angle. I'm not letting the cat out of the bag. There is a new school way to do it, but it takes a lot of time. A lot of time. This is not something that you do within a 4-week period leading up to a pay-per-view. If they're going to do something like that, it will most likely feel like we've been here before. We've done this before. The whole, I come on your show, then you invade my show, yada, yada. We build to a match.
Yeah, I listen, what you're saying is the truth. We've seen it done before, and usually it's not successful. But what makes this a little bit different, and I'm just throwing it because I honestly am confused by AJ Styles' promo. It was a weird one. It threw me off. I didn't see. Obviously, it wasn't on TV. So this is something. This is just a little seed that the WWE is planting. So I don't think this is anything that's going to happen over the next couple weeks or couple months. This is gonna be just smoldering in the background for a while here. But the one thing that makes this a little bit different than what we've seen in the past is that we know egos get involved. In this circumstance, I think it's a little bit different because of the relationship that the WWE has with TNA and what we've seen so far between the WWE and TNA. It could be done well. Could be.
This is obviously he cut the promo in commercial break. Obviously, they didn't want it on their TV because they wanted it to live on social media.
Yes.
And what they wanted to happen is exactly what we're doing right now. We're speculating. Who could he be talking about? And that's what they want. So they're getting it. I can't come up with an answer. You can't come up with an answer. If I had a gun to my head and I had to bet $1, I would say it has to do something with TNA. I think that there is business that could be done with AJ Styles and TNA, since AJ Styles was the face of the place. AJ Styles AJ is the homegrown talent that built TNA. Would love to see AJ be inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame. He's not inducted yet, right? No. Right. So have him inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame. Come Bound for Glory this year. He's obviously going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer in the WWE. Maybe AJ is the guy to come home to TNA to get the job done. Maybe AJ feels, maybe the promo is this. He feels like people in the WWE are trying to stick it to him. He's not going to stand for it. So he's going to go home and help the people out that he knows has his back, which is TNA. I don't know. I'm really just trying to make sense of it.
I'm fine with. I mean, like what you just came up with, I think is actually a pretty interesting story. And here's the best part about it, Bully, is because they're doing it on social media and it was off the air. If they feel like it's not gaining any traction and fans don't really care about it, then it goes away and it disappears. It was never on your TV to begin with.
There is one guy in TNA. I think there's only one guy left, and that's Frankie Kazarian, who was around when AJ was around. Can you think of anybody else?
Not off the top of my head. I can't really think of it. It's because you're talking now. That's a while ago since AJ was with TNA.
Right. I mean, you can't just throw that on TV and expect people to get it, because they won't. They will not remember. Yeah, people like us will remember because we're fucking wrestling nerds. But other than that, newer fans won't get it. But if there ever was anybody that could walk up to AJ Styles one day and go, "Hey man, You said Gallows and Anderson split. Me, Chin, nobody's got your back. I've been your friend for 25 years. We helped, start this place. I got your back. You can rely on us. Maybe AJ becomes part of a team TNA one day or something like that. That's the best I can do right now. That's the best I can do with the evidence I have presented in front of me right now, Your Honor.